Most subscription services manipulate customers with dark patterns. Is Amazon distorting the truth in its clean energy claim? And Severance Season 2 will hit Apple TV Plus in January. It's Thursday, July 11th, and this is Engadget News. Most subscription sites use dark patterns to influence customer behavior around subscriptions and personal data. That's according to a pair of new reports from global consumer protection groups. Dark patterns are practices commonly found in online user interfaces that steer, deceive, coerce, or manipulate consumers into making choices that often are not in their best interests. The international research efforts were conducted by the International Consumer Protection and Enforcement Network, or ICPEN, and the Global Privacy Enforcement Network, or GPEN. The ICPEN conducted the review of 642 websites and mobile apps with a subscription component. The assessment revealed one dark pattern in use at almost 76% of the platforms, and multiple dark patterns at play in almost 68% of them. One of the most common dark patterns discovered was sneaking, where a company makes potentially negative information difficult to find. ICPEN said 81% of the platforms with automatic subscription renewal kept the ability for a buyer to turn off auto-renewal out of the purchase flow. Other dark patterns for subscription services included interface interference, where desirable actions are easier to perform, and forced action, where consumers have to provide information to access a particular function. The companion report from GPEN examined dark patterns that could encourage users to compromise their privacy. In this review, nearly all of the more than 1,000 websites and apps surveyed used a deceptive design practice. More than 89% of them used complex and confusing language in their privacy policies. Interface interference was another key offender here, with 57% of the platforms making the least protective privacy option the easiest to choose, and 42% using emotionally charged language that could influence users. Even the most savvy of us can be influenced by these subtle cues to make suboptimal decisions. Those decisions might be innocuous ones, like forgetting that you've set a service to auto-renew, or they might put you at risk by encouraging you to reveal more personal information than is needed. The reports did not specify whether the dark patterns were used in illicit or illegal ways, only that they were present. The dual release is a stark reminder that digital literacy is an essential skill. On Wednesday, Amazon claimed that it reached its goal of sourcing all its power from clean energy sources in the past year. If taken at face value, the announcement would mean it hit the milestone 7 years ahead of schedule, which would be a monumental achievement. But environmental experts speaking to the New York Times, including a group of concerned Amazon employees, warn that the company is misleading the public by distorting the truth. The company's claim of achieving 100% clean electricity is based, in part, on billion-dollar investments in over 500 solar and wind initiatives. The company's logic is that the energy these projects generate equals the electricity its data centers consume. But the renewable energy sources it uses for those calculations are fed into a general power grid, not exclusively into Amazon's operations. Environmental experts caution that the company is using accounting and marketing to make itself look good, as the New York Times put it. The group Amazon Employees for Climate Justice wrote in a statement to the New York Times, "Amazon wants us to think of its data centers as surrounded by wind and solar farms, but the reality is the company is heavily investing in data center expansions fueled by West Virginian coal, Saudi Arabian oil, and Canadian fracked gas." Clean energy experts say Amazon's inclusion of renewable energy certificates in its calculations can be highly misleading. This is because if any power plants on a grid burn fossil fuels, businesses can't know that the grid uses only clean energy. The Amazon employee group told the New York Times that after subtracting the company's use of RECs in its calculations, its clean energy investment was just a fraction of what was publicized. With the meteoric rise of AI and the financial pressures to compete in this new gold rush, companies are now reshuffling their decks and finding new ways to meet their climate goals. However, if that shakeup offers less tangible movement and more weasel words and sketchy logic, then that's creating a new problem on top of their alleged solutions for a genuine crisis. Apple's terrific sci-fi thriller Severance has a premiere date for its second season, which will arrive nearly 3 years after the show's debut. You'll be able to return to the dystopian hellhole of Lumen Industries next January 17th. A fresh installment of the 10-episode season will hit Apple TV Plus every Friday until March 21st after that. For the uninitiated, the series, which premiered in February 2022, focuses on a group of colleagues who have undergone a severance procedure. Their work and personal experiences are completely distinct from each other. Each person essentially has two different lives. They can't remember anything about the outside world while they're at work, and vice versa when they're away from the office. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see how this could go very, very wrong. Apple has also dropped the first teaser trailer for Season 2, the filming of which was put on hold due to last year's actors and writers' strikes. The clip doesn't give too much away other than the core premise and a few fleeting shots from the new season. A new character played by Gwendolyn Christie appears at the end and ominously says, "You should have left." January is too far away. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and additional articles at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from contributors Anna Washenko, Will Shanklin, and Chris Holt, and was voiced and produced by me, Steve White, from Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.